Hi, Christopher Kelsall here with Victoria Sports News. Join us Saturday, June 23rd for the HarbourCats Ballpark 5K. Thank you for tuning in and welcome to the Victoria Sports News Radio Lab, where we will be providing listeners with interviews and opinion podcast on local YYJ sports only. Visit us at www.victoriasportsnews.com and follow us on Twitter at Vic_sportsnews. Thank you. Welcome to episode 1 of the Victoria Sports News Radio Lab podcast. My name is Chris Kelsall. I sit down here at Royal Athletic Park with managing partner Jim Swanson and assistant coach Curtis Pelletier of the Victoria HarbourCats to talk about the upcoming season, which starts in earnest Wednesday, May 30th at Royal Athletic Park. A warning, during this recording, we were subjected to a passing lawnmower on several occasions. Good day, gentlemen.
How are we doing?
Great to be here.
Thank you. We're here in the bottom of the double-decker bus.
Yes,
so
we are.
Let's talk about that straight up.
We're sharing a love seat in here is what we're doing. It's how Victoria is this to have an open-top double-decker bus at our ballpark that'll be used as a, I guess, part refuge. Now, this bottom level, we're going to leave it what it is, but up top, we'll have a party deck going on. People can, as a group, can come and get it and sit up there and enjoy it. It's an amazing vantage point of the game. It's over the game. It's up on top, and I think anybody who's on top of the bus will be, everyone in the park will be jealous of them.
Absolutely, and sitting here looking over the diamond, it is a great viewpoint, and we're down below. So it's going to be even greater up top, of course.
Troy Birtwhistle's done an amazing job of getting things ready for us at the park this year. The bus is certainly one part, but there's other things that we've done as well that we know people will notice.
2 weeks away from opening day, you got Troy running around doing a lot of work. Yes, as Jim Swanson pats his heart. What about this third base line party deck? What's going on there?
Well, we're jokingly calling it the SS Birtwhistle for Troy because it's like a big boat out there. But we have a party deck. Back when the Seals were here, it was a very popular area. It was the third base barbecue area. And so we've kind of stolen a little bit from that, but we've modernized it. And it's thanks to Chinook Scaffolding, thanks to donations from Slag Lumber, but mostly thanks to the organization of Troy Birtwhistle working with Craig Mayo of Protex Fencing, putting this thing together. It's a 40 by 28 deck, so what is that, 600 square feet? No, sorry, it's more than that. Whatever 40 by 28 is. It's a deck, one level surface. It'll have leaning tables, have some individual chairs, picnic table, and just a place where it's right in the action. You're actually taking up part of the old foul territory of the ballpark. So we're losing about 600 square feet of the foul territory. That's what it is. Foul territory, we get 600 square foot less foul territory. But people will be right in the action down there. And it's sold for more than half the games already for this season. So without even people having seen it, they bought in and understand the fan experience issue we're trying to give them.
Yeah, for anybody who hasn't seen it yet, just imagine a perpendicular jutting out deck towards the third base line there. You can be right on top of the action.
Curtis, you have to help me with the word like perpendicular. I don't understand. That's a big word.
Do you know, Curtis, what you went to?
I went to Grayson County College.
Yeah.
Let's say I majored in baseball though. So. But yeah, no, it's a really cool addition. You know, the fans are going to be right on top of the third baseman, basically, and third base coach. And they're going to be, you know, you got the visiting bullpen behind you, and you got the visiting, you know, team's dugout right there in front of you, and you got third base, you got third base coach. It's pretty cool. Like, some players don't even get that close to the action.
You think the umpires are going to get heckled down there a little bit?
Yeah, the umpires will get heckled anywhere they go. So.
How about the opposing players?
The opposing players. I mean, this is where you build your thick skin as a ball player, right? You're going to...
the party deck.
The party deck. This is what it's like. You know, you're gonna go. This is a starting point for a lot of kids, and you know, you're gonna travel around playing little ballparks that have funky little things like this, and this is where you learn.
This is where you get a thick skin, and then you have a third new viewing apparatus going up, or as we speak, Mr. Birtwhistle is out there with his saws and what have you. What's going on down the first base line towards right field?
Well, that's the it's pretty cool. It's kind of similar to what you see in a big league ballpark. It's called Pavetta's Pen. So it's going to be kind of a standing room area looking over our bullpen. So it's going to be a really great, vantage point for kids, adults, everybody to, to look right down on our pitchers warming up, our guys coming into the game, and just kind of, a little bit of interaction with the players and coaches that are in the bullpen.
Excellent. All right. And then, so opening night, you guys have Men Without Hats. I have a funny little story. I used to work at a record shop, CD shop called A&B Sound, downtown Victoria here. And
I used to line up for that guy. Boxing Day, I remember that.
I worked many of those Boxing Days. But, people would come through and sign autographs with Katie Lang and Sarah McLaughlin and Tractor and Stephen Fearing and Burton Cummings. And so Ivan comes in and he said, management said, so Men Without Hats will be here. And, of course, their songs are all over the radio. Ivan comes in, gets introduced. And so Men Without Hats was one guy, and he was wearing a beret, so he was wearing a hat. So my little anecdote is, I met Men Without Hats. It was one guy wearing a hat.
Well, I understand they got their name because they were a Montreal band, and they were the ones who wouldn't wear toques back in that time. So, but we've toyed with the idea of having our team in our non-league game, our exhibition game on May 30th, play one inning without hats as a tribute to what's going to happen. I might go out one inning without hats. So, but Ivan, it's fantastic. He's been in the music business for 97 years. He's been around a long time, right? And I think it's 40 years they've been in the music business, and he's never sang the anthems at a sporting event before.
So this would be a first,
literally
time.
A first for him in his career, which is hard to believe. He's played in front of hundreds of thousands of people in big concerts.
I thought Brad Norris Jones was singing the national anthem.
No, we would never subject our fans to that, ever.
And embarrass poor Brad, or would that embarrass poor Brad Norris Jones?
You got to push Brad's buttons every once in a while. We got to put Brad in the mascot suit one time. That's what we got to do.
Yeah.
But take the head portion off so you can see it's Brad?
No, we don't want to do that.
Give him a name tag?
Don't need to scare the kids.
All right. And Jim, you do some great things. You bring out ceremonial first pitchers, all kinds of local celebs and politicians. You had Crazy George here, infamous, super famous crowd pleaser type of guy. And of course, you got Ivan singing the national anthem. And
Skydivers opening night.
Yeah. And then
the
also
Zamboni guys coming out opening night.
For the peninsula, for the
snowfall
they had.
Marco Cardam is going to come and drag our field that night,
That's awesome.
And then we have fireworks the next night. And I think people are going to want to see the opening pitches on those first two nights. I think they're going to bring a tear to their eye on what we have set up and some people that we're able to support in our community that have been through some things. So it's we're going to leave that as a bit of a secret for later on. But definitely the first two nights and that first opening series will be something to behold.
Little foreshadowing there for fans on the fence about buying tickets for the first couple of games right there. And I would recommend getting tickets for those games because I've been here. You've brought out all sorts of infamous and famous people. Speaking of which, you also have a great 80s band coming, Chilliwack.
Yeah.
Talk about that.
July 28th, baseball game and a concert afterwards. We're going to do that. We're going to play a 1 o'clock game on that Saturday, July 28th, and then great 80s band, Bill and the boys of Chilliwack are going to be out and starting at 5:30 that night. They'll go to about 9, and we're going to have some rock and roll at RAP. I think it's great. Wilson's Group Stadium, we're taking this to a new level. And, with the help of the Wilsons and Wilson's Group, and with the help of all our sponsors, with the help of Forza Promotions, with the help of Atomic, we're going to have a fun day that day. And something we've never done before, and we thought, you know what? We have a date that works. We have a date that works for the band. Let's give this a go. We got it going, and here we are. We're selling tickets for it. We're having a lot of interest in coming into the office, a lot of calls on it. So, it's a band. Curtis is too young to remember Chilliwack because he's a pretty young guy, but I grew up with their music, and I know, Chris, you're way older than me, so you definitely grew up with their music. So,
Oh yeah, I'm really familiar with them. And Headpins, Too Loud McLeod.
There you go.
McLeod wrote
There
some
you
of the
go.
songs, played all his guitar.
Headpins would be
licks.
fantastic. Maybe we'll bring Men Without Hats next year.
And Darby Mills is touring again.
She's
too.
back again, I know.
Yeah.
Love it.
And when you talk about Wilson Group, now of course we're still at Royal Athletic Park, but it's called Wilson Group Stadium, and that's after John Wilson's company, the bus company.
Yeah, they've been so good to this community in so many different ways. They give so much back. I don't think they get anywhere near the credit they deserve on it. I don't think that's the way what reason they do it. They do it because they're literally, their heart is here in this community. They've born and raised all of them here. They're never leaving. They love it here. They love living here. And what Wilson's has done, certainly for the HarbourCats, you think what they've done, John's done for Peninsula Panthers, what John's done for all the sporting events in town, sporting teams in town. They run the bus for the Royals. He's the lead owner of the Victoria Grizzlies. You think of all the things he's been involved with and helping out the Highlanders. From everything that he's done, it's been unbelievable.
Yeah, so welcome to Wilson Group to Royal Athletic Park, so Wilson Group Stadium, and let's talk about on the diamond now. You have a whole bunch of new players. You have all sorts of players signed. You're only 2 weeks away. Let's roll through that list, Curtis, that you're looking at. Let's talk about some of your players.
Well, I mean, I'm looking at a list here of some, really great pitchers. We got, a bunch of right-handed pitchers. We got Aiden. Who do we got here? Aiden Gojkovic.
Yeah, that's a handful.
That's a handful.
Gojkovic.
Sorry.
What was that college you went to?
Majoring
in baseball.
Majoring in baseball. majoring in catching. So, he's out of Cal Poly. He's a big boy. He's we're just really looking forward to seeing these guys throw, and we're really the biggest thing for us is getting these guys in healthy and keeping them healthy. Tyson Cronin, he's out of Oklahoma. He's another right-handed pitcher. Left-handed pitcher Ryan Rutherford, he's out of UC San Bernardino. He's another big boy freshman. Jeremy Jess. Who else we got? What's this guy? Tyler Yoshihara. He's a 5'11" right-hander from Saratoga, California. These guys are a lot of good arms coming in, man. That's one thing I've noticed on our roster is a lot of solid pitching, and that's definitely one thing that's gonna get you through the season is pitching, is arms, is quality. So we're pretty blessed to have have some good recruiting out there and some good names and some good coaches that send us some great guys and some great returning guys. So the biggest thing for us is getting these guys healthy and sending them back healthy.
Right, and then so last year you had a plethora of left-handed hitters, and is that
it was like a hockey team, yeah. It was like a hockey team. I don't think Brian has any. Brian was a switch hitter. Brian McRae, head coach, and I don't think he has any necessarily. We didn't recruit to that. We just want the best hitters we can. If they happen to be heavy right-handed, heavy left-handed, switch hitters mixed in, whatever it is, we'll make use of those. But we pretty much set every offensive record this team and league has ever seen last year. That was the second most home runs in league history, only because Bellingham hit more than us last year. So we would have had the record for home runs hit in a season if not for Bellingham having a couple more than us last year. So on-base percentage, extra base hits, I think walks and stolen bases were the only two records we didn't set last year, and we were just behind on those. So
that's a big one for me is the walks. Getting these guys to learn how to see some pitches a little bit, and patience. Just some patience, and especially getting your pitch to hit. Having these young guys coming in, understanding the game, understanding the patterns these pitchers are throwing. Getting your pitch to hit, learning the situations, knowing what situations you're in. It's funny, even being, a coach, I'm sitting there watching the Yankees play, and I see Didi Gregorius go up there and swing at a first pitch with 2 out and ground into second base. I'm like, come on, man, see a pitch. But he's a big leaguer, right? So
far be it for you to say that.
Well, no, but
in fairness, rule.
It's one of those things. It's kind of a catch-22 where the coach says, "Yeah, go ahead, have a good hack. If you see the first pitch, hit it, and if you don't, you're going to get in trouble." If you don't, not in trouble, but if you don't make good contact, you're gonna hear it from the coach. But if you drive the ball up the middle, you're going to get a high five. So. it's about, it's a game of failure. It's about learning how to get your pitch and, knowing what to do with it.
So you're going to have a great bullpen, pitching staff, another offensive team. And what about defense?
Defense, you know what? I'm excited to work with the catchers this year, especially. We got some strong catchers coming in. Guys that are gonna lead the team. Guys that are gonna lead the team on the field and off the field, and just some hardworking boys back there. I mean, I was a catcher, so I'm really excited to see these guys come in and start getting some work in and start, again, working with these pitchers, not just catching bullpens, but starting to learn, starting to understand these pitchers and, understand if they're having a B or a C kind of day, what to do with those pitches, not just rely on the fastball outside, or if they have a good curveball, kind of go through go through everything, learn about their pitchers, get to know these guys mentally as well.
Right. Okay. So it sounds like a real complete team. The last few years, you've set some records in terms of number of wins in a row and wins in a regular season. And so, how are you going to top the last couple of years specifically?
Well, if I can speak first, is something that's really cool, something that I wasn't expecting is what's going on around the diamond right now. And it's a funny thing being a player, because the atmosphere really kicks, gets these players going. So when you see 3,000-4,000 people in the stands and a great atmosphere, you're going at 100%, but that's giving you a little bit of extra, I don't even know what the word is, but just you get super fired up. So with that being said, these guys are going to come here, they're going to work hard, and they're going to have this awesome community supporting us. So, that has obviously been proven with our league, with our attendance records, and it continues to grow. And, these guys are excited to come here. So I think that's the big first step, is getting these guys here and then being excited to be here.
So is that a recruiting thing that you notice? Like, it's most of these kids are Americans, obviously, but is that kind of cool for them to come up here and hang out in Victoria for the summer?
I've lived down south, a few times, and I tell you, one of my roommates, he'd never seen snow and he'd never seen the ocean. So for these guys that are from little towns down in wherever, Texas, Oklahoma, anything like that, it's a different world up here. To get that ferry over to Port Angeles is a pretty cool experience. So, with the experience and the level of play on field, it's a win-win right there.
We have guys who've never been out of the country before. We have guys who have to get a passport to come here, and American kids for the most part, right? So you add in the fact that we have the first and only female this league's in this level's history. You have 2 Cuban players coming in, which is the first time that's ever happened. 4 players from Taiwan and some Canadian kids. I mean, it's a real opportunity to grow just as a person and get to know more things around the world. And having Bernie come in last year, a Taiwanese player, had a great year for us, especially playoffs. Claire was an unbelievable story, I think, not just for the HarbourCats and the league, but for Victoria.
Claire Eccles, the media sure followed her around a lot.
And that'll be even more this year, and it's her last year she can play for us because of eligibility. So, just having that all, and then the exotic nature for a lot of these guys of going to Canada and going to this, it's pretty fun for them to be able to do.
To our island paradise.
That's right.
And our awesome sponsors. All these great sponsors we have that are so close to take care of, all the players and our fans. And, man, I mean, a huge thank you out to them right away. Like, these players come here because of all that.
That's a nice package. And certainly the gate has, you've broken some records at the gate as well. So how are ticket sales so far this season?
They're good. There's less than 20 seats left for the grandstand for opening night right now. We have other seats available, but the grandstand's just about sold out, and we've had a very strong. I mean, it can always be better. I'm one of the owners and the business guy. You always want to do better, but the season ticket numbers have grown this year. We'd like them to grow more, and we think they will in the future. We think they've got a great schedule this year, with tremendous weekend dates all the way through June that'll allow us to grow that number. We expect to lead our league in attendance every year. We don't challenge ourselves to do anything but to actually pull that off. So it's working into not a perfect storm, but a perfect beautiful day is what it is. And the weather's been great. We've had 2 rainouts in 5 years, 2, and they happened on a Friday and a Sunday the same weekend. So, it's been just great to have the HarbourCats here and be able to grow them the way we have.
Better knock on some wood, brother.
So I don't want to talk about merchandise too much, but right now, Jim, you're wearing a retro hat. It looks like a Pittsburgh Pirates, but it's a Victoria HarbourCats hat.
Yeah, it's Pittsburgh style. Back to the We Are Family days with Stargell and the boys, and we decided we'd try something a little different this year. We got some new uniform stuff coming in this year too that'll make it interesting, and I'm excited to get that all in and have the guys, you dress how you play and you play how you dress, and taking a little bit of pride in our appearance and try and make sure we have a really good time with it.
Have a peek on the social media too. We put out some sneaky little photos of some cool merchandise coming up, and we're going to be doing a couple cool photo shoots coming up so everybody can see it and be able to get their hands on some of it.
Of course, you can get it here at the ballpark. You have the sales here by the first base line behind the grandstand, but also at the office on Vancouver Street.
Yeah, new stuff has come in. It's now for sale. It's put out and ready. So we're starting to see a few of those things disappear out the door. So
available now.
Yeah, absolutely.
Disappearing out the door, not due to shrinkage though. People are actually purchasing.
Well, we do have video cameras for surveillance on it. We saw a guy who looks a lot like you walking away with one of the new T-shirts. So
have you seen me around town wearing some HarbourCats stuff?
We'll talk. I think you grabbed the wrong size. So I think the one you grabbed, you're gonna look like a sausage wrapper in it. So.
That's awesome. All right, so we're 2 weeks away. What's the? Let's talk about this first game.
Nothing is like opening night. You have to see opening night every year. It's just it's the renewal. It's like the start of everything brand new. Everybody's in first place. The players are new. They're all experiencing this for the most part for the first time. Our coaches are excited. Special things like the fireworks. The next night has skydivers. Having Ivan Dorschek sing the Ocean Anthem is going to be a lot of fun for me to see that happen. Ceremonial first pitches, quick presentations before the games. We have a couple banners to put up from last year. We came within a game of winning the championship last year, so we want to play off divisional championship, and we won the second half in the division last year. So we get to put up some banners, and we're excited to do that.
It's going to be a fun weekend.
It will.
All right, gentlemen. Well, thank you for this. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you for tuning in to episode 1 with the HarbourCats. Please visit us at www.victoriasportsnews.com and follow us on Twitter at Vic_sportsnews, and check out the HarbourCats online at HarbourCats.com. Hi, Christopher Kelsall here with Victoria Sports News. Join us Saturday, June 23rd for the HarbourCats Ballpark 5K.